So today our topic is about types of collenchyma and further topics we'll discuss. Right? Collenchyma is of three types. First one is lacunar collenchyma. Second one is lamellar collenchyma. Third one is angular collenchyma. Very simple difference between these three. Lacunar collenchyma. I said you collenchyma cells may or may not have intercellular spaces. Why? Because it is filled with secondary cell wall. That secondary cell wall filling will decide whether it is a lacunar, lamellar or angular collenchyma. If the secondary cell wall is filling in the intercellular spaces, all the intercellular spaces are filled like this. From this side, from this side, from this side like this. One cell from each side will be filling. So if the thickenings are filling like this intercellular spaces, then it is called as lacunar collenchyma. Okay. Secondary cell wall deposits. Secondary cell wall deposits. In intercellular spaces. In intercellular spaces. Second one, lamellar. When the cells are arranged like this, okay, I'll say you. This is the center of stem. We'll take the stem is like this, and the cells are arranged like this. Next row. So in between xylem and phloem is there. Here xylem and phloem is there. Right. Now, the secondary cell wall deposition will not be seen in this side. The cells, this is the angular side. So this side there is no cellular secondary cell wall deposition. Only in this region, this side. Like this tangential region. This side is there. 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 In between these two cells, this side no cellular secondary cell wall depositions. Only the secondary cell wall deposition is absent in radial direction. That means like this there is no cellular deposition, like this no deposition, like this there is no deposition. Only in this angle, okay? Between cells and cells in this angle we can see, but in this angle there is no deposition. Radially there is no deposition like this, okay? Only in the tangential region. Understand? Okay, I am drawing again. Very simple, nothing to confuse. Very simple one. So I'll draw only some parts. So in these intercellular spaces, you can see that there is deposition. But in these intercellular spaces, you will not see any deposition. Like this, it is deposited. Okay? There is no deposition in this radial direction. Okay? Only tangential region. You can see only in tangential region, not in radial regions. Okay? Only in tangential regions, absent in radial regions. Angular collenchyma. Angular collenchyma, I'll say you very simple one. See if there are cells like this. This cell and this cell is making one angle here. Here you can see deposition. This cell and this cell is making one angle here. So, You can see deposition in this area, in this area, in this area, in this area. Like that, only in the angle. This cell 1 and cell 2 are making one angle. You can see here angle is there. In that angle only cell wall deposits. Here one angle is there. In this angle only cell wall deposits. Okay. So cell wall deposition is seen only in angular regions. Only in angular region between two cells. Between two cells, right? That is about the three types of cholerenchyma. Very simple. Two types of sclerenchyma are there. They are also very simple. Sclerenchyma is of two types. One is sclerates and second one is fibers. Sclerates are also called as stone cells because they are very hard, very hard. These sclerates are very irregular in shape. See, if this is a small lumen, around this, the shape of the cell is very irregular. It extends like this in different ways. You can see this type of cells in the shells of, you take for example, coconut shell, shell of almonds, shell of walnuts, like that. Then this lumen is very small, dried lumen. Remaining all is cell wall deposition. The secondary cell wall is deposited like a thick layer, and this is all secondary cell wall only. Lumen is almost very less, and that too dried lumen. It is not a living cell, so lumen is also not living. All dried lumen is present. So this all is filled with secondary cell wall. This all is secondary cell wall. This is all filled with secondary cell wall. Like this. The small lumen is left. This type of cells are called sclerates. Irregular in shape, irregular in shape, irregular in shape, dried, small, lumen, hard. It provides mechanical support. Already we have discussed sclerenchyma provides mechanical support. What about fibers? Fibers are long cells with pointed ends like this. Okay. These fibers may be from 2 millimeter to 550 millimeter. So all these fibers inside this also lumen will be, but dried lumen, very small lumen, and secondary cell wall is deposition is very thick. Inside this you can see that secondary cell wall is deposited and almost no lumen, very much less dried. Dried lumen is there, that too very less. Like this you can see secondary cell wall depositions. Okay. Leaving a very small lumen inside. This is the lumen that is present. Right? Okay. That is about fibers. Next, complex tissue. We'll directly go into complex tissue. So this is fibers. Those are sclerites. Two types, only two types of sclerenchyma cells. Next, so We have completed all simple tissues in permanent tissues. Okay, when I said about classification, simple tissues are divided into parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. That's over. Now complex tissues. Complex tissue, only two types, xylem, phloem. Xylem helps in conduction of water and minerals, from roots, from roots. Phloem helps in conduction of food material. What does it conduct? Food material that is produced from leaf. So, is it distributed in 10 or total plant, or it is present only in roots, only in leaf, like that? No, it is distributed in entire plant. All the plant, whole plant requires water and minerals. It starts from root, it is distributed to each and every corner of the plant. Tip of the leaf, tip of the shoot, all are having this xylem. In the same way, phloem starts from the leaf, but it is distributed in the entire plant because total plant requires food material. Now we'll see the classification. Okay, both of these are called as vascular tissue. Vascular tissue means which helps in conduction of substances. Xylem is divided into xylem parenchyma. This is not classification. When I said you about complex tissue, I said you that there are different sets. Complex tissue has different sets of similar looking cells. In this, the first set of cells is xylem parenchyma. Second set of cells is xylem fibers. Third set of cells is xylem tracheids. And fourth set of cells is xylem vessels. Yeah, means okay. So these are the four sets of cells. One bundle of parenchyma will be present, one bundle of fibers will be present, one bundle of tracheids will be present, one bundle of vessels will be present, all will be present and come together to perform a common function, that is conduction of water minerals from the roots. Okay. So this is called as the same one tissue only, but so many components are present. There are so many components. These are not different tissues. They are components of same tissue. Okay. First, second, third, fourth. These are the components but not separate tissues. Components of xylem tissue. That's why it is called as a complex tissue. Now, xylem parenchyma is similar to simple tissue parenchyma. What is the function of simple tissue parenchyma? It needs to produce food, it produces the food, it stores the food. In this case also, xylem also requires food material, xylem also requires production and storage of food for functioning normally. So that function is taken by parenchyma. Next, xylem also needs mechanical support. So this xylem fibers are same sclerenchyma fibers. We have already studied about sclerenchyma fibers, long 2 mm to 550 mm length. So the same which provides mechanical support. So we need not study again what is parenchyma, what is fiber. What is tracheids and what is vessels, we'll see now. Very simple difference between tracheids and vessels. Tracheids, vessels. Both of them give mechanical support to plant. Both of them help in conduction of water and minerals. But what is the difference is tracheids are long with tapering ends like this. Holes are on the sides of this and conduction occurs through this. Conduction occurs through the sides. Vessels are structures which are long, which are having perforation plates in middle in this holes are present. Okay, this is one vessel. This is one vessel. This is perforation plate. Perforation plate. And in this way water is conducted. Water will be conducted like this. Okay. In case of tracheids, they are long. So water enters through these holes. And when it, so next trachea will be here somewhere like this. So when it is like this, through these holes it will reach like this. So previous trachea will be here like this. So through the holes that are present in this trachea, it will pass through this. Like that. Okay. In between this cell and this cell, what are the common holes? Through those holes, it will pass like this. Okay. So that means this is one trachea. Can you see? So holes are not separate. See, it will be present in between this wall. In between this wall. So water moves from here to here, here to here, here to here. When the hole is present between these two tracheids, this water will move like this. Okay? Water will not come outside. It passes from one trachea to another trachea. In that way, it continues, right? Okay? So, in all the side walls, there are holes. You take the cells are present in this side also. If you see in 3D, this is a 2D diagram. If you see 3D, on all sides walls, cells are present. All sides there are common walls. Through that the conduction takes place. But for vessels, they are short and the conduction takes place in this direction. Conduction somewhat cross like this, not straight also, somewhat cross. So vessels have perforation plate. In that holes are pores are present. Through that pores, the conduction takes place. That is the difference between xylem tracheids and xylem vessels. Now let us see about phloem. Phloem also have 4 different components. Phloem also has different components. Okay, one question. All the plants do not have tracheids and vessels. If tracheids are present, no vessels. If vessels are present, no tracheids. Very simple. This is very primitive character, not developed character. Since it is primitive character, it is present in plants which are formed before the angiosperms, like gymnosperm plants and pteridophytes, they are present. Pteridophytes. In bryophytes, there is no vascular tissue, so don't worry about bryophytes. Pteridophytes and gymnosperms have primitive mode, that is tracheids. Vessels are present in angiosperms. Okay? This point should be clear. Next thing is about phloem. Phloem also has 4 components. One is phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers, sieve elements, and companion cells. The sieve elements can be sieve tubes or sieve cells. So again, I need not say parenchyma is similar to the parenchyma simple tissue. Fibers are similar to sclerenchyma fibers, because this phloem also requires for its own for its own purpose, it requires some food material. So phloem also has some parenchyma, and phloem also has fibrous tissue which helps in mechanical support. Now we'll see what are sieve elements and companion cells. As it is already discussed, in case of xylem, tracheids are present in primitive plants and vessels are present in well-developed plants. Same like that, sieve elements also. Sieve cells are present in old primitive plants, and sieve tubes are present in developed plants. Sieve cells are which are polygonal. Okay, they are polygonal on the top. Their structures like this. Open, there is no plate in between. Okay, here holes are present on the walls, and next to phloem sieve tube will be there. Sieve cells will be there. Next, continuously with this also there will be a sieve tube, but there is nothing in between. Holes are present, that's all. There is no sieve plate in between, like we saw perforation plate in case of vessels. Here nothing is there. Here holes are there. Directly food material flows like this. Directly food material flows like this. If it should flow from here to here, through these common holes that are present in between, it will flow. Okay, but in case of sieve tubes have perforation plates. These are called as sieve plates. Here there are holes, pores. Pores means small holes. And here there are companion cells. Here you can see companion cells are present. So this is one companion cell. This is one companion cell. This is one companion cell. What is this purpose? To support and protect sieve tubes. Okay? To support and protect sieve tubes. The function is to support and protect sieve tubes. So that is the difference between sieve cells and sieve tubes. This again I am saying this is present in pteridophytes, not developed one. Pteridophytes have this, and gymnosperms have this. Gymnosperms you have seen on in classification chapter. If you don't remember what is pteridophytes and gymnosperms, we are going to revise in our fifth chapter. At that time you will understand. In case of sieve tubes, they are present in angiosperms. So that is the different types of phloem elements. Okay. So with this we have completed classification of plant tissues. Once I'll draw a flow chart of classification so that you get summarized. Plant tissues are divided into meristem and permanent tissues. Meristem is again divided into apical meristem, which is present in tip regions, lateral meristems, which are present laterally in between the stems, intercalary meristems, which are present in the nodal regions. Permanent tissue again is divided into simple tissues and complex tissues. Simple tissue is divided into parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is divided into three types. What are they? Can you remember? Chlorenchyma, prosenchyma, aerenchyma. Chlorenchyma has chlorophyll, it can perform photosynthesis. Prosenchyma provides mechanical support in small, newly formed cells. Aerenchyma has air spaces, it helps some aquatic plants to float. Cholenchyma is divided into lacunar cholenchyma, lamellar cholenchyma, angular cholenchyma based on the cell wall depositions. If it is present in intercellular spaces, lacunar, present in tangential region, lamellar, present in angular region, angular cholenchyma. Sclerenchyma is divided into two types. One is sclerites, irregular, hard cells which are having dried lumen, and fibers which are long with tapering ends. They are also having secondary cell wall very thick, and they help in providing mechanical support. Complex tissues divided into xylem and phloem. Xylem is composed of xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma, xylem tracheids, xylem vessels. Phloem is again having components. It's not classification, components only. Phloem fibers, phloem parenchyma, phloem. After parenchyma, we have sieve elements. Simply, you can call sieve elements. And lastly, companion cells. So that is about the entire classification of plant tissues. That is the complete classification of plant tissues. Right? Okay. So with this we have completed our time also.